My stomach lurched. It wasn't pointing at me. It was pointing past me, to something behind me. A chill ran down my spine. Every instinct told me not to turn around, not to look. But I couldn't stop myself. My hands trembled as I raised the flashlight, angling it over my shoulder. And that's when I saw it. My mind struggled to comprehend what I was looking at. It was barely human, its features distorted by shadows and unnatural stillness. Its hollow eyes locked onto mine, and for the first time in my life I felt true, unfiltered terror. I opened my mouth to scream, but the darkness swallowed my voice. The silence in the woods was oppressive. My breath came in short, uneven gasps as I tried to process what had just happened. The strange figure, the unnatural sounds, the feeling of being hunted, none of it made sense. Every instinct told me to run, to get away from this cursed place before it was too late. But I knew that running blindly through the forest in the dead of night would only get me lost, or worse. I had to stay calm. I had to think. Taking a deep breath, I tried to recall the map in my head. The trailhead was to the east. If I kept moving in that direction, I would eventually reach safety. Summoning every ounce of courage I had left, I started walking. The forest felt different now, darker, heavier, as if it were watching me. The branches overhead swayed gently, their rustling barely audible over the pounding of my heart. I forced myself to focus on my footsteps, making sure not to stumble on the uneven ground. The last thing I needed was an injury slowing me down. Minutes stretched into what felt like hours as I made my way through the thick undergrowth. Every so often I would hear a sound, a twig snapping, leaves rustling, but I refused to look back. I couldn't. Whatever was out there, I knew it wanted me to acknowledge it, and I wouldn't give it that satisfaction then. Just when I thought I was making progress, the feeling of being watched intensified. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. Something was close, too close. A low guttural whisper drifted through the trees. "You're almost there." I froze. The voice was right beside me, yet I saw nothing. Cold terror gripped my chest. I could feel its presence, feel the weight of its unseen gaze pressing down on me. And then just as suddenly as it came, the presence faded. The air felt lighter. The sounds of the forest returned. I bolted. Running now, I crashed through the underbrush, my legs burning with exhaustion. I didn't care about the noise. I didn't care if I tripped. I just needed to get out. And then I saw it. The parking lot. My car sat there, an oasis of safety in the sea of darkness. With one final burst of energy, I sprinted toward it, fumbling for my keys. I yanked open the door, threw myself inside, and locked it. My hands were shaking as I started the engine, my breath coming in ragged gasps. As I sped down the empty road, I dared one final glance in the rearview mirror. The forest stood still, unmoving. But just before the trees disappeared from sight, I saw it. A tall, shadowy figure standing at the edge of the woods, watching. I never hiked alone again.